Hello, it's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast. All right, so this is what's interesting, okay? Check this out. This was Donald Trump today.
This reduction was done through what is known as sequester, which you've all heard about, or automatic defense budget cuts. Under the budget agreement, defense took half of the cuts, even though it makes up only 1/6 of the budget. So they put it all in defense. As soon as I take office, I will ask Congress to fully eliminate the defense sequester and will submit a new budget to rebuild our military.
Yeah, good luck with that.
It is so depleted. We will rebuild our military.
Okay, so Trump is up there arguing against the sequester, which was a complete GOP invention, okay, because they couldn't come up with a budget. They couldn't do it. Good luck, Donald. Good luck. Good luck working with these with this Congress, who does nothing. But what's really interesting is now he says the sequester is what killed our military, although our military is fine. It's fine. We're just not warfighting right at this moment. And so we have a reduction in troop levels. We have a reduction in deployments. We have a reduction in combat pay because we don't have that many people deployed in combat. Okay, so, but Donald Trump is anti-sequestration now. Here he is with Greta Van Susteren back in the good old days. Poor Greta. Here he is with Greta Van Susteren back in 2013 when he was being asked about the sequestration. Was he for it or against it?
Okay, Donald, tell me, what happens if sequester goes into effect and we have these across-the-board cuts? What's going to happen with the economy, with jobs? There are lots of things people are saying are going to happen, so you tell me.
Well, I think not a lot is going to happen. It's a very small percentage of the cuts that should be made, and I think really it's being over-exaggerated. A lot of things are not going to happen that people are thinking are going to happen. Frankly, this is a very minor amount of the cuts that have to be made ultimately, and a lot of people are saying that. Even Democrats are saying that.
Well, it's hard to sort of understand because there are sort of a lot of scary things that are being said. The president says, you know, the lines at TSA are going to be very long, and we're going to have to cut down on prosecutors prosecuting cases. And what I don't get, though, is this, is sequestration is a slowed growth. It's not really a cut. So I'm having a hard time understanding why we don't even just maintain the status quo, how it would have any impact.
Well, I think actually that's what's going to happen, and I think that the cuts are not going to be steep as you see. I think you're going to have to do a lot more cutting. If you're going to balance budgets, you're going to be doing a lot more cutting, and there's no question about it. Everybody knows it. The president knows it. Congress knows it, and this is just the beginning.
What happens if we do no cuts at all, and in the next year, 2, 3, 4 years, and let's say that we continue to balloon our debt and deficit?
Well, eventually you're going to have a big, fat explosion, and it's all going to come to an end. If we don't get rid, we're up to $17 trillion in debt. Nobody thought that was possible. If you look back 7, 8, 9 years ago, nobody thought that would have been possible. We're at $17 trillion. And, you know, the word trillion, we've been talking a long time, you and I, Greta. That was not a word that was in the vocabulary. Now it's a very common word.
And we need to cut more. So Donald Trump was for not just sequestration, he was for steeper, more intense, deeper cuts than were made in 2013 with sequestration. And today he had the nerve to stand there and say that he was going to undo sequestration on day one. Day one, he is going to be so busy rounding up immigrants and, rounding up gangsters and unsigning executive orders and undoing all that Obama has done and repealing Obamacare and declaring war on Syria or ISIS or whatever. Oh,